Hello, I'm Mary Valamides, and I'm going to share with you what's going to be happening in the second 6 weeks for mathematics. This PowerPoint may have some slides that you might want to revisit later. It will be located in Canvas. This next 6 weeks, the focus will be on multiplication and division strategies. And here's a quick overview of all the strategies you'll be teaching your students. The text, you'll notice, has a specific wording for you to address sized groups, arrays, area models, equal jumps on a number line, and skip counting. Pay attention to 3-4F. You know, in 3rd grade, the kids need to learn their multiplication and division facts with automaticity. So that is going to be a real focus for this 6 weeks. These are the division texts. There are division and multiplication for some of them. So let's begin with the multiplication concepts. Anytime you teach multiplication, you need to start with first the concrete, which would be manipulatives, and then progress to the abstract. Some ideas of things to use are repeated addition, number lines, arrays, and area models. Those are the ones that are specifically listed in the text. If you look at the unit overview for this 6 weeks, you'll see that it starts with manipulatives, whether you want to use Cuisenaire rods or two-sided counters for arrays. And this would be one way that you could use them. Going to the pictorial for representation with area models, strip diagrams, number lines. Now, strip diagrams is an area that we really need to focus this year because that's an area that the kids were weak in our STAR assessment. Area models and number lines are really emphasized in the unit overview. And then you transition to the abstract, where this could be using the multiplication chart or just using repeated addition to show multiplication. Partial products and flashcards would be another form of using an abstract version. So you would never want to start with flashcards. You would always want to start with those manipulatives, working to the pictorial, and then flashcards. Now the triangular flashcards are available for you in your Texas Go Math resources. The next concept you're going to be teaching, once the kids have a really good foundation with multiplication, is now they're going to be multiplying 2-digit numbers. One way to start that is again using partial products. Notice that you use the distributive property with this as you multiply. You can break apart 3 times 16 to be 3 times 10 plus 6, having 3 times 10 and 3 times 6. Here's another example with 4 times 23. Now, which properties of operations were used? Notice there is a focus of operations, so properties of operations. So we definitely use the associative and distributive property in those last few examples. Division concepts. These again are the texts that you're going to be covering in this particular section. And notice that there's really 2 types of divisions, where you partition equal shares, where you determine the number of groups, and share unequally when you determine the number of items in each group. One way to do this is using strip diagrams, and here's an example of one item. So when you divide 32 into groups of 4, into groups of 8, you'll have 4 groups. So the basic facts that need to be mastered by October are to maintain and add, maintain addition and subtraction to 20 with automaticity, and multiplication facts 10 by 10, as well as composing and decomposing numbers to 100,000, and maintaining 3-digit addition and subtraction to the 1,000. So basically these are all going to be hopefully mastered by October 21st. If not, then you'll see that these are the areas that you can focus with your workstations. So basic facts for January 13th. Again, we have multiplication, but notice division facts is also included here. And the other 2 are the same as before. Other than the last one, which is compose and decompose a fraction with denominators of 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8, which you'll be learning later on in the third 6 weeks. An online resource that's free and available is at this website, and basically it's Math Match, where you choose a difficulty and then you choose whether you want to do multiplication or division. If you have kids still struggling with addition and subtraction, they might want to choose that first. And it's basically letting kids match the answer to the expression for the fact. Now, thinking about assessments and being CBA and STAR, CBA will be November 14th, which would be the first Monday of the third 6 weeks, and STAR will be in May 8th. Now, please focus on using grids as much as possible on your formative assessments. It will be on the first CBA and the second CBA. They are also located in Eduphoria under yearly content documents and then state assessments. You'll see there's a page with lots of grids on there for you to use. Now, we historically have not done well on grids on CBAs or on STAR, possibly because it's an open concept question, or maybe it's because kids don't know how to use a grid. So please make sure that kids are familiar with how to do that. So I want to show you just a few items from STAR 2016. Notice the format of the answer choices. Like number 6 is verbal and algebraic. 18 was algebraic. 37 numeric. And then our lowest scoring item was a visual using diagrams. Now this is another example of a visual, but notice not is used in this question. It's not capitalized, it's all lowercase. So our answer choices were mainly verbal, algebraic, visual, and numeric. You might also want to consider using some of these different formats when you make your own formative assessments. And these were all from the text from the 6 weeks. Vocabulary, being that that's a focus with our Tier 1 priorities, these are the words that you would want to review. But these are the new words for the kids. So these are the ones you'll really want to focus in on. One word wall activity to make it more engaging for the kids would be to look at a word and say, I'm thinking of a word that begins with the letter M and ends with the letter N. It could be multiplication. Or I'm thinking of a word that describes the answer of factors multiplied together, which would be product. So this is just an idea that you could do with the kids, and then you can pick a student that gets the right answer and have them give the next definition. You can also play tic-tac-toe with your word wall. Thank you for listening to the curriculum preview for math. Please contact me at 5810 or email me if you have any questions or if there's anything I can do to help you. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time.